Hello, you absolute legends. Welcome back to the channel. John here, and that grinding is Dad cutting off possibly the worst car accessory that you can put on your car. Forget your big spoilers. Forget your furry dice. We are waging a war this afternoon on my brand new Audi TT. In fact, actually, Mrs. John Coupland's brand new Audi TT. Because the seller has clearly fitted some sort of alloy metal dust cap covers, and every single one of them has corroded onto the valve. They're an absolute nightmare. This video is showing you how we removed them. Effectively, the best way to remove them is split them in half, and that is what we have been doing, dremeling the tops out, splitting them open, and then removing them from the base, from the valve stem. And you can see that we've done a couple here. These wheels need a good old clean, but we're working our way around. You can see this is what one looked like, and Dad is currently hammering them off, chiseling them off, grinding them off, and splitting them off without trying to do any damage whatsoever to the valve. And that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing that you can do, is damage the valve and then end up not being able to pump your tyres up. Now, I've bought this TT, and there's a video on the channel. If you haven't seen that already, it's on the way. But yeah, I've gone to obviously make sure it's nice and safe for Mrs. John Coupland to pump the tyres up, only to find that the valve covers are stuck on. So in this video then, we're looking at the covers, what they look like. Dad's got some words of advice, and actually, if you get in a pickle, how you can get them off. We tried lots of methods, and this is the method that we found worked best for us. We tried dremeling, which you can see there's a nodule cut in there. We also tried heat gun. We tried gripping the valves with some mole grips and using a 10mm socket to try and get the caps off. They are absolutely stuck solid. I've got no idea when the seller last pumped the tyres up or checked his tyre pressures, but clearly it's not been done in a while. And you can actually see from this video that this front driver's side tyre needs a load of wind in. So this is us at the moment trying to get the caps off and work out a little bit of a method. The best way to do it is normally drill it, split them open, and then just peel them away from the valves. It has just loosened them off here then. These ones really were corroded, and actually all four of them were a little bit different, so whether or not they've just been replaced and repaired and put on in the past, who knows. But we certainly had a good hour or so going at these today, before we got the tyres nice and ready for Mrs. John Coupland to be on the road. Dremeling then, dremeling and notching them, splitting them open. We had to be really careful not to damage the thread. The worst thing we could do is damage the thread, and later on in the video you'll actually see that Dad's got a thread tool. So Dad, I think at this point, is trying to split it open, and there he goes. He's split that end off. And we can actually see at this point how much space we've got between the end of the valve thread and these caps. Got one side off then. This one was actually the worst one to get off. This was the first one. I think once we had worked out a method, we were able to do so. So we've split it open. Dad's trying now to see if he can shift it with some grips and some heat. There's that old meme, isn't there? It can't be stuck if it's liquid. Obviously, Dad's using a little bit of metal there to deflect the heat away from the alloy, because alloys aren't that bad, to be honest with you. We're trying to split it off here as careful as we can, and actually we did get this one off without damaging anything, as you can see. There it is. That was what was left. So there was this valve cover, metallic valve cover, and also the cap. There's the car. There's Dad using a special valve thread tool.
You made that one look easy.
And that special tool takes all the corrosion off the threads and looks at the valves, takes the valve out, So we can do that. It's a valve removal tool as well, but we obviously didn't want to remove the valve. Word of advice now.
It's off. Dad's got a word of advice.
People, don't fit these things.
They really are the worst things in the world. And if you've got some on your car, well, clearly these people weren't checking their tyre pressures enough, but that was well corroded on there. Dad's managed to get it off by cutting it and splitting it, but they are genuinely the worst things in the world. If you have these on your cars, take it off. I know people are going to say, oh yeah, but I copper slip it and I take them off and check them regularly. That's fine, not a problem. But if you are not a competent car owner and you don't check your tyre pressures every week and copper slip your valve cap covers, don't fit those.
That's it then. That's the end of the video. As you say, you can copper slip them and remove them, but you know, I genuinely would not fit these. Thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Loads more stuff coming about this car on the channel if you're into your Audi TTs. This is on the way. Have a great day, whatever you're getting up to. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. It's John Coupland on Twitter if you haven't followed me already. Take care. Goodbye.